So it's BuilderComs. And what we do is we're a completely web-based platform for builders and contractors. So you can access it from tablets, cell phones, to desktops, to laptops, and we're completely customer facing. So we get all of your communication. So think all the emails, all the text messages, everything that you have out there. We get it all in one place. We organize it per project, and we build out an app that your homeowners download, your clients, and that's where all communication goes through. And we do pictures, documents, videos, all of that. And we're completely customer facing. And where the magic happens is the channels of communication that we build in there. So say your homeowner has a question about the schedule. We make sure they're talking to the person at your company that's in charge of the schedule, not the sales rep, not Mary, the receptionist, that don't have the answers. The industry standard is, hey, sorry, I'm not the guy. And then the customer never hears back because we get caught at the coffee pot having a conversation, and then we never hand off the sticky note to the right person to be able to have that conversation. So we make sure that your clients are always talking to the right people at the company, whether that's yourself or you have a staff. And then we get it all organized per project. So it's super easy to go in and look at each one of the projects instead of chasing down all the stuff that is involved in communication right now today.
Man, you are so on it. I've got a client today at 1:30, and that's our major problem is communications. And so we may be sending people your way here quickly, but I have an attorney, and he was a client, and he was complaining that people didn't get things done. And I said, well, how do you communicate what you want done? And Post-it notes, met you in the hallway, text, email, and maybe a telephone call. And I said, are you kidding me? We talk about it a lot, Khalil, one place to look so that people know I need to go there. My brain is fried, but I need to go here and I can see what's going on. I think this is beautiful.
Yeah. It's amazing you bring up attorneys love me because, in construction, lawsuits happen. And what is always the hardest thing is getting the documentation from any of the community. Like, we now have a record of this because a lot of times somebody will quit. They take all those text messages with them and you don't have access to it, or you just can't get all the emails and all the messages and get it in one place. So anytime I talk to an attorney, they are like, your solution everybody should use just from a protection standpoint.
Hey, this came up yesterday with another client. We were talking about, he got stiffed he's a new client. He got stiffed for about 50 grand from a home builder. And he's a young guy and they bullied him. I mean, it was a great learning experience, but he got bullied and it cost him 50 grand, a little more than that. And we were talking about setting up a system that preserves your lien rights. So you gather the data up front for what you need in order to prepare a lien. You have a record of the last day you worked there. And here in Oklahoma, it's 90 days from the date you last did work. You have to file your lien before that. So you have a tickler pop up 10 days before and say, hey, do we need to look at this, instead of finding out, if I'd have filed that 3 weeks ago, I could have had a lien on these guys. So this is great.
Yeah. So walk us through just a little bit of maybe, I know that it's kind of structured around projects. Let's just kind of walk through a project that goes through BuilderComs and the timeline of it and how it impacts not just the customer, but also the internal company.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two different ways you can utilize it from the start. I got guys that utilize it in the sales process. So immediately when they make contact with that customer and they're going through the sales process, they use it as a differentiator. They take communication off the board because that is one of the objections people face is like, how are you going to communicate with me throughout this project? So I got guys that introduce it right away, say, hey, we use BuilderComs. You're going to download this app. This is where all of our communication is going to go through. And then I have guys that use it once the sale has happened. That's where they kick it off. Customer information, customer gets an email. Once they move forward with the project, saying to go download the BuilderComs app, and this is where all the communication will go through. And that immediately starts the process. Super easy. If you can use Facebook, you can use BuilderComs. Like I'm a non-technical guy, so you can imagine what kind of software I'm responsible for building. Very easy to utilize, very intuitive, because that's all we had to do. Like we didn't need to revolutionize how people communicated. We just had to revolutionize how it went in and where it went and how people talk to the right people. And what ends up happening is you can have unlimited users on there, admin settings. So say you have a sales manager, he's in charge of the sales channel. You have a production manager, operations manager, project manager. They're in charge of that that project channel. You have somebody that runs the calendar. They're in charge of that scheduling channel. You have a service manager that's in charge of all the inquiries after the project is done. They're in charge of that channel. So you set up the admin settings so the guys have the right admin to be able to be in the channel. And then you can have crew guys and foremen who all they can do is come in and put in high-level updates into the status feed, which I say is like a Facebook, Instagram feed. It's just a live feed of what's happening on the project. So they can say, hey, we're 30 minutes out. Boom, it goes in there. Homeowner gets a notification on their phone that the guys are 30 minutes out. They can add pictures right in there. All right, we're wrapping up for the day. Here's some progress pictures. Boom, and it becomes part of the living document that is that project. And now from a homeowner perspective, homeowners can go in there, whether you're at the house or you're across the country, and have direct access to the right people at that company and also be able to see what's going on. Any documents, any pictures, ask questions. So 35% of time on a residential project is wasted because of communication breakdowns. And what I have found is a lot of that is on the front end. That's because customers aren't empowered to ask the questions they want to ask before the crew shows up. Because what we're here is, man, the sales guy don't know the answer to this. I'll wait till the guys get out here. Well, this could be a job critical question that might change something. So the crew goes out there. Next thing, the homeowner's asking them these questions, and come to find out he wanted a different color roof or something, whatever it is. And that delays that project. You now wasted a crew going out there, when if that homeowner felt empowered to ask that question because he knew he was going to be asking the right person, you could have had that conversation prior, could have got the change order done, could have then also rescheduled it if it wasn't going to happen, to be able to happen on the same timeline. And now we have these open lines of communication to where now we're saving the time. Not only are we saving the time of having to search through these messages, I had a builder tell me is one of the greatest time savers for him is that he can just go right in there and go into the project and look at all the communications. Because beforehand, if he had a guy that was out, he runs a big electrical company. If he had a guy message him and ask, what kind of outlets are we installing in this house? It then took him 25 minutes to go through all his emails, find a specific email that said, this is what we want. Now with BuilderComs, he can go right in there. Or better yet, his guy can go right in there, because his guy has access to those communications. And he can look and see, boom, this is the outlet we're installing. So now it saves that owner time, and it saves time on the job site as well.